Hey, you made it back. I didn't know if you'd make it back in time. Welcome to the Full 42. We have a very tired co-host, Michael, with us, and we'll get into all that. You look so white.
Dude, I no idea, no clue.
We'll get into all that and stuff. Today we're talking about the top five movies from 1997. Nice chill topic because I know you're tired and maybe we'll get out of here soon. Maybe it'll be a quick one for you.
I'll tell you. Not only that, the 1997 list was pretty easy to get through. Like it was
Are you
a hard.
kidding? It's huge.
That's not true at all.
We're both looking at 97, right?
1997, yeah.
Yeah, man. I got like 40 movies on this list.
Oh my god.
Great ones here. Well, okay. I put some that were fun to mention at the bottom that aren't great ones, but there's some good ones in here. I don't know what's and 97. You were what? You had just graduated, maybe something like that from high school.
I was like 42 in 1997.
You're 42.
I graduated in 94, so I'm
okay.
Now, I think I've hit 2 colleges by 1997 in my college tour.
Yeah, see, that's like the perfect time for movies and all that stuff. This should be your time right here.
I was doing way other things in 1997 than watching movies, apparently, because a lot of these were like, nope.
Weird. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here. So we'll go over it. I'll be interested. Maybe this will be one year where you don't squash all over my top ones and twos.
Oh, that's the problem. I think the ones that I picked are going to be your top ones and twos because there wasn't much else. Like we'll see. I mean, there's a couple that are like, yeah, it's a good movie, but I wouldn't want to watch it again. I'm writing another one down too because I just thought of another one.
You're from not Syracuse.
Yeah, so, Alan was here in Syracuse for last week.
Wow, it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Fashionably late. You're not late, Stephen. We just started because we're always a little late.
Yeah, Stephen, I think you're leaving this week. Safe trip, buddy. Hope you have fun.
Yeah, safe trip to everybody who's leaving.
Yeah. Huh?
Said safe trip to everybody who's leaving Cusecon.
No, most of them already left. Stephen, I believe, is going to Essen.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole week from now, isn't it?
Going early and doing stuff.
Oh.
People. When I go, it's going to be an early trip because I want to, like, when you're over there, it's kind of easy to get around and see places. Like, you take a little pond hopper, places were pretty quick, or the train system or something. So,
yeah, I heard Amsterdam's pretty close.
Yeah, see, he's taking off Sunday. It's awesome. Good shit. Yeah, everyone's home safe. Hope the trips home were great. It was great seeing everybody. You
got your second, third, fourth, or fifth wind for the show?
I'm not, like, the post that I made about the show, I'm not even joking. If you go back and look at the amount of the amount of time that I slept so Wednesday was set up, right? Wednesday was I was up at Daryl's in Canada the weekend before, right?
We should mention, just in case this is the first episode someone's watching, is that we're talking about Cusecon, which I can say correctly now because I think of a Q. We're talking about Cusecon, a convention that you run up in Syracuse. I had to think of a Q there too.
Yep, 4 days. First one was only 3 days actually, but immediately it went to 4 days the year after. So it was just this past weekend, started on Thursday. Setup was on Wednesday. There were a ton of people that watched the show that were there, which was amazing. But Wednesday is the setup day, right? So library gets moved in. They're all in rolly racks, wrapped up, moving into the show, moving in the tables because they didn't have the thing set up properly. It was loosely fine, but things had to get changed. And then Wednesday night, once things are set up, we just kind of hang out and start playing and bullshitting. So late night Wednesday. And you see me at the gathering. You know what I do when I'm at conventions like this, like generic expo cons, like publisher cons, Gen Con or Origins. I'm up late, but I'm not up that late because I know I need to function better in the booth to like
Right.
people, right? So this is a different monster. So lack of sleep Wednesday because I'm hanging out with everybody. So I get 4 hours on Wednesday night into Thursday, and then Thursday starts it. Down early, doing the final touches, got the registration table going. Everyone's coming in. People are joining and whatever. Thursday, and this is a rough overview. Thursday night's roughly 3 hours of sleep. So 4 hours on Wednesday, 3 hours on Thursday, 3 hours again. No con card yet. I'm just exhausted. Like everything hurts, but it's from exhaustion. 3
Yeah.
hours on about 3 hours on Friday. So now I'm talking from last Wednesday to Saturday morning. I'm on 10 hours of sleep, right? And 4 hours is a cycle. I do fine with 4 hours on a cycle. Then Saturday night, which is the last big night, everyone's there, busiest day, definitely exhausting because there's so many people. But it's the last night that everyone's in, so now you push yourself a little bit more, right? Because fuck it, you're gonna sleep on Sunday night, which also didn't happen. I ended up leaving the ballroom around 4:30, and then Will. I don't know if I ever introduced you to Will. He helps us out at the booth for 3WS. We're talking about the industry and stuff, and you know how I get going when we talk about the industry and stuff. And then all of a sudden, it's starting to get bright out. So by the time I got to bed, it was 7:30, and then the alarm goes off at 8:30. So I had an hour sleep Saturday night.
Why even bother with an hour?
Because I knew I would have crashed it. You would have found me at the registration table, like drooling on myself. And then Sunday is pack up, so everything gets wrapped, and Evan was sticking around for one more night. Shannon was sticking around for one more night. Dan was around to help me out. Like people were playing late because it ended at 6, but people were sticking around. So that was another late night. But I came home because I had to pack my car with stuff. So I came home and crashed. So I got 11 hours from Wednesday to Saturday, and then I slept a few hours, like maybe 5 hours Sunday into today, and then today was moving the rest of the stuff. I am, but I wouldn't trade it. Like this is like it's just I would not trade that for anything.
Sure.
Like the lack of sleep, whatever. I would not trade it for anything. Getting to see these people there, yeah, you're exhausted from, but getting to see them and hang out, I mean, you know what it's like at conventions, like regular conventions, and this is completely different. Like hanging out with friends, seeing people, like it's just, I love this shit. So I'm not complaining that I'm crazy for not having as much sleep, but I'm not in no way am I complaining about it. It is, I love it. I live for this shit.
We got a square.
Oh, that's an icon that didn't come through.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5 a.m. So was it that late Sunday? Oh yeah, Saturday night into Sunday. So it was later than I thought. Yeah. Fucking crazy. But so this is why I do this, right? Like I love this community is phenomenal. The board game industry in general, but like the Cusecon, it's just amazing. And you've seen these, right? Like there's always one back here. It's usually the one from the previous con, but this was for this con. And I always get them signed. I have every one from 2019. I always get them autographed by everyone that comes by. The first year, I think it was very publisher and industry heavy. So it was very light. If you look at 2019, it was very light. But then this year, it's like the 5th anniversary, right? I have it on the 10, and it was much bigger than the others. And this is why I do this.
Wow. That's a lot of signage.
Right? Like this is for me, this is my history. This is stuff that means more to me than like a lot of other things. And like it doesn't matter if it's Mike Rice right here, right? Board Game Rundown Mike.
Nice.
Or it's just an attendee that plays games. Like this is what this means to me. This is the community that I live in, and I fucking love it.
Welcome to the group, Alan. He is now part of the tribe.
Yeah, he helped. We were looking at Canvas Critters with Will Michael Petrie, who did on the rocks, and Alan was part of it, and Alan was contributing like feedback on how we were doing certain things, like the way the stuff worked and scoring, and it was neat. Can that read? No, there's a line there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't read any of the signatures, but you can tell they're there.
Did you sign Lobot? That's fucking great. Did you? Oh, I gotta find it. So I did for their badges for Mike, Bob, and Tim. I didn't do Mike, Bob, and Tim. I did Rice Cream for Mike Rice because that was his email, is Rice Cream. I did Lobot for Tim, and then I did a Gecko one for Rob. If you remember, they had that Gecko game, and they put the cover of the Gecko game. The Gecko looked like Bob's face, like he was making the face. So now it's Gecko Bob, Rice Cream, and Lobot. Top middle. Oh yeah. Fuck. Right there.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I love this shit, man. I love it.
It sounds like a fun time. Maybe I'll come next year.
I hope so.
We'll see.
Hope so. It's not. I mean, you should be there. I know it's not right around the corner either, but Garden Gecko. Oh, that's the game, Garden Gecko. So now it was Gecko Bob. But yeah, it was great. Feedback was tremendous. 5th year, obviously. So there's still growing, still figuring stuff out. But the feedback from like Matt Paquette's first year, Al LeDuc's first year, Sean Jacquemin from KTBG and Bird Island was there. The designer of How to Save a World, Yuval, it was all their first time, and they couldn't say enough. It's humbling, but I am proud of what it is because they were pleasantly surprised at how good it was, how smooth it was, and it was across the board. I think it was the best one so far, by far.
Nice. Well, yeah, just get better every year, and eventually you'll be so good I'll have to come, right?
Eventually, yeah. I think the only reason why you didn't get an invite is because you kept saying Cusecon. So,
and now I think of the letter Q and say it Cusecon. There we go.
I will make sure to have a special badge for you. Like this happened.
Now I worry.
That's Keith Standee that we.
He's actually there.
Well, he stopped by. He was there all day Saturday.
You should have got one of Keith doing that.
Well, no, I got Evan. Yeah, I have
funny
Keith. I got pictures of Keith next to it. But where's the? I want to show you the one.
Tumbling Dice tournament next year. You're getting a request already.
There you go. Okay, I'll do it. Here's the. I took 2 pictures. I haven't taken one of these since the beginning.
So did it on the real Keith too. That's funny.
Here's a picture of all the industry folk that were there.
Oh, nice. Wow. A lot of people.
All right.
I know some of those people.
Yeah, you know a lot of these people. There's
probably some of those people are in the chat already.
There's Yuval's over here. There's Bob. I'm sorry, it's washed out. This is a waste.
Yeah.
But there's something else that was really cool that I love.
Yeah, you and me both. We'll try next year.
Look at that.
Wow. Are those all volunteers?
No, these are all like part of the community. People that are like for a while. Wow. But what I did was I had these are only made once, but I opened up hockey jerseys for people if they wanted to get it. They were customized. Cool. They got their name and their number on it. But like that many people wanted a jersey to remember like the con. Like it's neat to see, man.
Jersey club.
Bailey's in there. There's Di is in here. Di's right there. She's not paying attention. Thanks, Di.
Yep.
There's like it's just really. It's so cool to see this shit. I love this stuff. I really do. There's Keith and Brandon and me.
It's a me. Fun.
Yeah. It was great. It was absolutely. Oh, there you go. Here. Oh, come on. Stop doing the thing. That's Corey, who's usually in the chat too, but there's Alan and I playing Canvas Critters.
Oh, cool. How'd that go, by the way? The Canvas Critters. I'm sure you got it played a lot there.
Played enough, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. We came up with great ideas. Did I tell you about the beer?
No. Oh my God, that is cool.
Yeah, it's called the Sunburst, but we had our own
Huh.
beer label. Luca's on a beer can, and in one of the cans, there were 240 cans canned with that label, and in one of them was a D20, like a fat D20, and the winner got a copy of Heroes of Arcadia from Roller Crit. They got a badge, a VIP badge for Cusecon next year. They got a gift certificate, a shirt, and a 4-pack from Bullfinch. Like and people were like excited about trying to. People were buying beers for people just because they wanted to buy the beer. Like they don't drink beer, so they like, you need a beer. I want to buy a beer to try and win. It was
That's funny.
really, it was it was special this year. It was hyped. It was there was more people. There were amazing amount of feedback from everybody, and I can't thank everybody enough. Whoever came, whoever helped, whoever sent stuff, whoever shared a picture, like it was awesome to see. And oh god, I think you remember last year.
I wasn't there.
Dave, I was showing pictures. Dave and Die mostly. Dave just carried it in. Made a cake. Do you remember the cake? Do you remember the cake?
Hey, show me a picture.
No, it's from last year. Do you remember Die made a cake, and in the cake was made of like all game bits, and you had to guess.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Had all the
So,
bits on the outside. Yeah.
yeah. So that's the one from this year.
Ooh, that one's cool.
It was ridiculous, and
What was the flavor?
I actually didn't have a piece. I was too fucking busy.
Oh, that's nice.
She made a reference to 2 YouTube shows, and it was us and Board Game Rundown.
Oh, that's cool.
And
Hey, what?
then
How come BGR is up top?
ours was a little harder to find. Fossilis by David, who was there.
Oh, that's cool.
And then
Good game too.
the ridiculous one. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's cool. Charcuterie.
Unreal.
A good game.
It was absolutely sausage sizzle. These are edible
With a
dice.
bunch of different flavors. Huh.
Look at that. The dice from Sausage
Wow.
Sizzle. Like, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. There's so many.
That's really cool.
Ton of pictures. Yeah, so the Coke or Pepsi that was asked earlier. We had a meta game happening throughout the con with bottle caps, and I asked if when they got their badge, I asked if they like Coke or Pepsi better, and they got a star, so they were team red or blue. And the idea was, yeah, that's all hand drawn. That's all like her. That's not photo like edible, whatever. The idea was you had to turn in bottle caps to claim states in the country for blue or for red, and it took 20 bottle caps to claim a state. But you started with 5, so either you had to like socialize and find people that were on your team, or people were anteing up like 2 bottle caps, and the winner took the pot. Whoever won the game. It ended up it was really, really fun, and Bailey turned like 6 states at the end, and I don't know if they won by 1 or 2, but blue won by a couple, if not one. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was the best one so far.
That's awesome. Well, now you got to beat it next year because I don't want to miss out on the best one.
The only thing that'll beat it is if you were here.
Well, then we'll fix it. Next year, we'll make it happen.
There you go.
And then it's only downhill from there.
Downhill from there. So everyone needs to come because the best one will be next year, and then that's it. Yeah. Yeah, it was super fun. It was great seeing everybody. It's super fun. It reinvigorates the passion for the industry. It was fun to see Michael Petrie's working on a game, and Donnie and Corey were working on their game, and Like people were, Brandon was working on one of the games that we signed of his, like watching the designer side of things do what the designer side of things do. And then the community here in Syracuse interacting with the designers and the publishers and people. Like Sean had layers there that were testing. Pete McPherson did a beat the designer game of Tiny Towns. And he lost by 1 point. I think Bailey won by, I think it was 32-31, they said. So Bailey beat the designer of Tiny Towns, Pete McPherson, by 1 point. Like, it's
Nice.
just the stories and the shit. Here's what sums it up for me. I was asked what was the highlight of the con, and there's so many bits that are just memory. Like, I can't do a top five. You know how I do a top five. However, Saturday night, we're playing a game. Next to us, they're playing tumbling dice, Tim and Mike, and right? Like, it's happening right there. And you don't know my friend Steve, but my friend Steve comes in. I think he went to go take a piss or something. Comes in, gets back to the table, and they're like, all right, you want to play another game or do you want to call it? And Steve, and there was a little pause in between. Steve goes, it's only midnight. And then there's a pause and he goes, oh shit, it's 2. And like that gap of like time means like, you know, you're in it, you're having fun, you're not looking at time. That sums up this kind of thing. Like all of a sudden it's 4 a.m. and you have no idea that much time passed. And it's like, that's just the fun part of, it's just the fun part.
Yeah. That's what's great about those kind of conventions. That's why those types of conventions that sit down, play, and meet friends and stuff is always better than the expos for me. So
yeah, we had
expos are fun, but you know
they're just different. These kind of cons are completely different.
Yeah.
Tom had his daughter Ava there, and Ava, there's a charity organization called Ava Strong where they raise money to beat childhood arthritis. I don't know what the name of it is, right? So his daughter Ava has it, and he reached out to me a couple months ago and said, hey, I have a lot of like, you know, I try and raise money for this thing. I have a lot of games from publishers. Like you have the con. I'm wondering if we can do something. So I'm like, yeah, like we'll figure it out. We'll make something work, right? So he gets a table in the vendor hall, and he's taking, he's doing raffles for a whole bunch of stuff, right? And he gives all the stuff out, tons of raffle prizes. Raised $3,000 for the foundation.
wow,
right?
That is cool.
And he did it Sunday at 4. No, he did it Saturday at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock. So it wasn't even the full convention. It was Thursday, which is the lighter day for VIP, and then all day Friday and most of the day on Saturday. And he raised $3,000 for that thing.
That's really cool.
It's and that was new this year. Like there was so much new, so much felt good, but someone was new, and it folded into it so well. It's a great community. Whether you came from Canada or Costa Rica, the community is just amazing.
Yeah, international convention now.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah,
cool.
I love it. I wish I could go back in time and do it all again. I probably would sleep less too.
All right, well, you're making me jealous.
Next year. That's the whole point of this. I paid everyone to be here to say this shit.
Great.
I gave Dave $20 to type that.
20?
Yeah, there's more coming. Don't worry. We'll have t-shirt made for you.
Now, anybody that says this is like, where's my money?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, if I made a deal with you.
Yeah, so, well, that's awesome, man. I'm glad it all went off well, and next year will be awesome.
Thank you.
Got to make it happen.
Yeah, you got to come. I mean, I know it's a year from now, and who knows what can happen, but obviously I would love to have you there. It would, I get to see you a couple times a year anyway, but man.
Yeah, maybe we could do a 42 show.
Yeah.
Do a 42 episode and just have everybody be guests.
Yeah. They did the rundown from the lobby of the hotel on Wednesday. I forgot where I went. And I went out to eat. When I went out, I went to Bullfinch with them to go eat. And I went to the house to get some stuff. And we got the notification that the rundown went live. So I get back to the hotel. I had to go get my luggage and stuff. I get back to the hotel. I walk into the lobby. Bob and Mike are sitting at the table that they were broadcasting from. And all I did was like kind of creep in behind them to pop in and say hi. And I see Tim and I see both of them, but it says it's blacked out on the upper left. They had just ended like 30 seconds before I went to go pop in. So like when their show ended, you could have counted. It was like you falling out of your seat, right? I
Yep.
popped right in. It sucked.
Yeah, 25 minutes. All right, we're done with this.
Nice. Okay, over under.
No, I'm happy for you. So, but we're 25 minutes in and we haven't even gotten to announcements. I don't have any announcements. You probably don't either because all you've been doing this week is Cusecon. But let me know just in case you do something new. Well, you have some Kickstarters coming up, right?
Canvas Critters is in November. I don't have the exact date yet.
Okay.
All of my announcements were Cusecon. However, November 16th, for those that are just as a reminder right now, November 16th is the 24-hour day. We're doing the fundraiser. Cuscon's fundraiser for Extra Life is in the same place we just were. The 10 a.m. the 16th to 10 a.m. the 17th. So a couple months. And then 2 weeks from now is Retro Game Con in Syracuse. It's mostly focused on retro video games, but there's a big tabletop presence. I'm bringing the charcuterie soiree, and we'll have a table for 3WS. So me and Dave will be over. Not this Dave, maybe that Dave. If you come, that's in 2 weeks. That's all I got. And then the keep out for the kids. Oh, I did get to play half, almost that, maybe a third of Tales of Myth and Legend this weekend.
Oh, okay. How was that?
Keith, Bobby, and me with Van Ryder. Yeah.
How was that?
It's good. It's good. It's going to work well. And it's going to have that Van Ryder flair with
that's the good stuff.
Yeah, with what they do really well with production and components and what you would expect.
I keep seeing ads for my Dark Quarter, and I'm like, "Come on, where is it? Give me."
We talked. Evan and I talked a little. He's working on it. He was just down in New Orleans to get a little bit of like that fire from New Orleans to get some of the writing in. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. I'm excited. I didn't expect it. AJ, I don't think when we asked, I don't think it was coming. And then Evan told Keith. So Keith, like it was Keith, Bobby, and I, and Evan, like we got to play it, which was cool because the weekend before I was up with Daryl and Adrian, and I got to play our game together. So last weekend was that. This weekend was really cool.
Yeah,
that's next year. That's I think they said Q1 or Q2 of next year. And then
Dark Quarter.
No, Tales of Myth and Legend.
Oh, when it hits the crowdfunding, not when it delivered. Obviously, yeah. Very cool.
I forget which is which. One is Q1, one is Q2, and it's either.
Those are two different Qs. Yeah,
they are. Vast Grim will either be Q1, Q2, and then Tales of Myth and Legend will be the other one. Like it's in there somewhere. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice. Yeah, do that.
Very cool.
Derek,
do you have
for Van Ryder, Derek? Or are you going? Are you something else? I know you said something about Van Ryder, but are you in the Van Ryder booth?
You might just be going there to play.
He said something about Van Ryder. I don't know if he's going there for them.
You already showed your poster. Do you have any other show and tell?
Not ready. My car's still packed. There's shit. Like I got to go through a whole bunch of stuff. There. I got Chris Chan, who did Stock Exchange, which sold out at Gen Con this year. Another hype one. There was Gnome Hollow and Stock Exchange. He's the co-designer of the Night Cage from Smirk and Dagger. He was there. He also got a jersey. I got autographed copies of Stock Exchange from him. That he was there. That was cool. I'm going to do something with that at the fundraiser. There's so much stuff, man. It was an unbelievable weekend.
What about a Luca painting? You got a Luca painting?
I have a Luca painting. I also have Dave. If you watch the show on Friday, that giant flamingo that I bought West at Level Up in January, he left it behind. Right. So now I have it until at least PAX, if he's going to PAX. So I might be fucking around with Dave for a little while over the next couple months. while I have him while I'm hosting him as an exchange student. But yeah, I do have a Luca painting. Oh, I have a Luca picture too.
So Luca, who you're about to see, is your almost 3-year-old.
Yeah, November.
Yep. And he likes to give us paintings that we look at and interpret all the comments. Everybody tell us what you see. It's kind of a Rorschach test. Let's see who's craziest this time. I'm going to guess it's probably Mike because you're so tired.
No.
Well,
No,
it's not fair because you get early exposure. You know what he's looking at, all that stuff. So
I wasn't looking at it. There is
You
a
get-
name here.
you get to hide your insanity from us.
Where is the one? Do I want that one? I want this one. This one?
Well, show us the painting while you're looking at your phone.
Well, I can do both.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. He was there a couple times. He helped me move some of the racks of games out too. He's pushing them for me while I was pulling them. All right. So this one, again, I think last week it was also August 29th. So this is another one from August 29th because now I want to do the 2-color ones. So this one also has a name, but we'll see what you think it looks like because Luca has a very special name for this one.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep. Oh. Wow. Okay. Well, I got back it up so we can see the whole thing.
Well, I'm just trying to get you the colors, right?
Yeah.
You can see the difference.
I mean, I know what I saw, so I'm going to give comments a couple seconds before I influence them, which I inevitably do sometimes. Let's see.
I'm also not looking at anything in the chat. I see Derek said Luthier. Matt Paquette brought the copy of Luthier, the proto of Luthier, and that was played a lot, which was cool.
So that's interesting. So Brandon says Mario.
That's a good one.
I see Wario because his nose is all reddish, and he's got the mustache, and his eyes are back there, like it's real close up to his nose and mustache and mouth.
I gotcha. Good.
Yeah.
A mustache.
The mustache goes up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Night on Bald Mountain. Bald
edition.
Abstract Joker vibes.
Cool.
Yeah, if this part was red, definitely. But I mean, the colors, the blue and red and white, I can see that.
It's funny that Dave and Steven are right on point with each other because Steven said the Joker is done in abstract, and Dave said abstract Joker vibes. Yeah.
Bat flying into volcanoes. Ooh, that's a dumb bat. Nice. Mario for sure with the mustache.
Yeah, Anger from Inside Out. That's a
Angry
good
guy
one.
from Inside Out.
That was a
Was
good
he-
movie.
Was he in the first one? I didn't see the second one.
Yeah, Anger was there. I
I
loved
only
it.
saw the first one.
The first one was great.
All right, so tell us, what is it that he's named this?
I don't know if you noticed, but there are 2 little blue dots up here.
Yeah, that's what I said were like the eyes of Wario.
Right. So I know they're a little bit off, but I saw Jafar when he turned into the red genie.
I can
And
see
then
that.
the cloud, when he went like cosmic and there were like the clouds coming around and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
But
I can see it.
what Luca made, and I don't think anyone was close. And clearly you're all wrong. It was just a dolphin.
Okay. Wow.
There's
What
your
did the
fin,
dolphin just eat?
right? Well, this is the dolphin. There's your fin. There's your tail,
Okay.
and that's its head.
Mm-hmm. I think we know who's disturbed this week.
Not the red. I mean, the dolphin is. I'm sure it's a
That was
murder
my
dolphin.
second guess. Red dolphin. Yeah, that's it.
It's an unalive dolphin.
Sure it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a propeller.
remove this. If you remove this, you can see it. You can see the
And a
dog head
propeller. That's funny. More like a hammerhead, I guess. I don't know.
in a propeller. Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know if it's a live dolphin.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Hmm. Have you checked them for color correctness?
He's fine. He's fine.
He's just having fun.
What did Di say? Oh, in a propeller. They're yelling at her. That's good. Yeah, that's all I got. I'm sure I'll remember some shit next week, but it's a great weekend. Great shit. I mean, this is. Oh, you know what I'll do next week? I'll get the posters. The 19, 21, 22.
That'll be fun.
And then look at the progression.
Take really good pictures of them, and we'll put them up on the thing. So, like good quality instead of your shitty camera.
Don't use my iPhone. Is what you're saying?
Your iPhone's probably better than your webcam.
That's garbage.
Yeah.
Eric.
Okay, so should we jump into the 97 that you are mistakenly? I don't think you dug in deep enough.
I went 500. I go to 500 every time. I go IMDb movies from January 1st to December 31st, and it starts with the most grossing or the whatever. It's not by I don't have it listed by popularity. Like the 5 movies in is rated a 6, the next movie is rated an 8. Like it's just, I think it's the top grossing or the most popular. But I go to 500. I do the top 500 movies that come up when I put it in, and then of that, that's cool. You should do that.
Yeah.
I have one I want to announce. Like I want to talk about that I was shocked about.
Shocked that it was in 97, or
no, a different thing.
Shocked that it existed.
And then I have 4 that I know I'm talking about, and I'll pivot with the 5th. Like I'm more solid in this list than I have been. Like I have my 4 blocked off that I know I'm talking about.
All right. Maybe there's just a lot of movies you missed. I don't know. There's a lot of great movies this year.
I have 10.
All right. I mean, I have like 25 good ones, and then others that were memorable to some degree for me, but maybe you don't need to watch it now.
You have 25 movies that no one will bitch about, and then you have the rest are all Hudson Hawk type.
There is some Hudson Hawk in here, that I'll give you that, but it's not in my top 5. My top 5 can't be argued with. I don't think so.
Okay. Derek, a couple weeks ago, Daryl was on the show because Chris had, power outage for no fucking reason, and we talked about Essen. We did the first at that time. I think we did the first 1,000 or the hottest, the ones that were top 1,000 that were coming out. That was a few weeks ago though. It's now it's now an adjective. And yeah, I watched the Thunderbolt.
It's also a verb. Sometimes we Hudson Hawk it.
Sometimes I'm not saying what I want to say right now. I did watch the Thunderbolts trailer today. It looks good. I still need to watch Agatha. Because obviously it released while I was doing Cusecon stuff, so I got to catch up on that.
Yeah, it's really good so far. They only put out 2 episodes. I was hooked right away. I was really happy with it so far. Yeah,
it's Wednesdays. Yeah, on Wednesdays.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Let's talk about hold on. Who started last time? I'm trying to remember.
We do this every time, so
yeah.
I think you ended up with the final number 1,
which means you started last time.
Number 9. So
yeah, which means you started. So I start this time.
5, 5, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. No, yeah, 1, 1.
Bunny, ball.
Ball.
Yeah. All right. So we'll do I'm starting with number 5. All right. So my number 5 is one I'm guessing isn't on your list. I don't even know if you've ever seen it, but it's kind of like it's not a cult classic, but it's the kind of thing like if you've seen it, you know it's really good, but it just didn't get a lot of like I don't know. Nobody talks about it anymore, but it's Gattaca. Have you ever seen Gattaca?
I did.
And you didn't like it?
I didn't want to watch it. I didn't not like it. It just never. I never wanted to watch it again.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean,
doing things in 1997 than watching multiple movies. Or movies.
I don't want to know what you were doing in 1997.
Just saying.
So yeah, there you go. Love Gattaca. Yeah. So Gattaca. I don't know. I think I have the wrong spelling on mine.
Just remember, I'm born in 76, so 1997, I'm 21. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right. So now
you can watch movies when you're 21.
I get it, but I can also go to bars.
Okay. Well, then I can't help if your list is shit. Gattaca, Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman, Jude Law.
Yep.
The acting's really good. The story's pretty interesting. It does have a very kind of like slow pace to the entire thing, but I found it fascinating. It's got that tension, is he going to get caught and stuff like that. I think it was my favorite Ethan Hawke movie until like Training Day hit later.
Yeah, they don't compare. Training Day.
Well, no, that's a totally different movie, right?
Yeah. I mean, no, even the acting, like his acting in Training Day is phenomenal. Gattaca's good. Gattaca's good.
Gattaca's really good.
Apparently, it's your number. It's your number 5.
My number 5. Yeah.
A good one.
All right. So that's my number 5.
What dots? What dots do I need?
What?
What dots do I need? Dots?
No idea.
I don't know what that is. Tom, how you doing? I don't know if you just joined, but so Tom is the one that runs the Ava Strong that I talked about during Cusecon that raised at 3,000.
Congratulations. Yeah, he's not asleep yet, but he is slowly shrinking. He's getting lower and lower.
I'm in.
By the end of the list, he's just going to be like this.
I'm in a chair. So this chair that I'm in was actually my grandfather's when he worked at ABC. This came from his office.
Wow.
I've had it since probably around 97. Like it was right around there. I've had this seat for a while. It's really comfortable. What about me?
That's cool. It's not all about you.
Yeah, no, it is.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah. Good. Awesome. All right.
Also
so I need
an animated movie. An animated movie.
Oh, wow.
Okay. I can only think of one good one in there, so that's pretty crazy. That'd be in 5, but it's a good one. All right. Right. So what's your number? Well, okay. Again, I ordered mine from 5th favorite to 1st favorite. You are doing 5 random movies that you like, mostly so that you can put them in whatever order you want to squish my list. That's fine.
Correct. I'll be nice. Yeah. I'll start with I'll softball one back to you. I'll let you have the other ones to talk about. I will talk about Mouse Hunt.
The hell's Mouse Hunt?
Nathan Lane.
Okay, I like Nathan Lane, but I don't know that movie at all.
It's almost Home Alone, where they're in a home and there's a mouse fucking with them.
Oh, okay. I remember the trailers for that and just going, nope.
It was fun. I love Nathan Lane. Mouse Hunt is fantastic. It's super fun.
I mean, I never saw it because it looked ridiculous, but
it's one of my favorites from this year. Also, Nathan Lane and the way he is in that movie, and the idea that the mouse is basically just like sabotaging them the whole time that they're in this house. Like it's a fun movie.
All right, not on my list.
Look, see.
Yeah.
It's hard to get Dave to agree with me too.
I mean, I never saw it, so I can't say one way or the other. But
Rat Race was completely different.
All right,
yes.
Cool. Well, all right, then since you're over there, you're sneaking to your number 4.
This one might steal it from you, so I'll wait. I'm gonna go. I don't think this one will be on your list. I'm gonna say for number 4, Liar Liar.
All right, that's number 15 on my list.
Okay. That was my number 5. That's my number.
It's a good
4.
one. It
There
was
are
a pretty decent one. Yeah.
lines I use from it. It's hysterical. When he's in the bathroom, he runs into the wall. I can't not laugh every time I watch it. The whole pen is blue thing. And then it gets really serious there for a little while, right? Like with his acting, like it got real, but it's one of my favorite from him. I love watching that. Yeah.
I don't remember what the scene is, but there's some scene where somebody is like beating him up or something, and they ask him a question, and all he has to do is lie to stop it, and instead he just says yes with a cry or something. I forget exactly what it was. Maybe it wasn't beating him up. I can't remember the scene, but I remember him saying yes in a hysterical way.
Oh, it's great. It's so funny. Yeah, they're so good. It's one of my favorite. I love Bruce Almighty. I think Bruce Almighty might be my favorite one of his. The Mask is great. Like he's got some really good ones, and he's got some really bad ones. But I think Liar Liar would be up there with Bruce Almighty. I think we'd go Bruce Almighty and Liar Liar if I had to rank them. Like Liar
What do you
Liar.
put Truman Show?
Truman Show. It was a different experience, and I think I watched it after. Oh, I watched Ed TV after, and Ed TV was shit. Yeah, like Truman Show was good. It would be top 3. I think that would be my 3. Mask would fall a little bit because it was cheeky and whatever. Evan Almighty was yes.
Yeah,
not as good. It was good. It wasn't as good.
Good.
That scene in Bruce Almighty with Steve Carell and the teleprompter, where he's reading the teleprompter and Jim Carrey is just spouting out whatever, and he's just like mumbling and oh my god! Every time I watch it, I'm crying. It's so funny.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. So Liar Liar, I love it. It still holds. It's still a classic, and it's one of my favorite from him.
All right. My number 4 is Nothing Like That.
Perfect.
Not a comedy at all. However, if you know some of my favorite, like the games in my top 10, you should be able to guess it from this year. And one of my favorite games, actually, it's probably my 3rd favorite game, is Detective City of Angels. And that means that my number 4 movie is LA Confidential.
Oh, LA. Okay. It was that or the Kiss the Girl sequel. Yeah, LA.
Yeah, which is basically that movie almost. It's almost exactly the same thing. I mean, not that they base the game off of it, but it's that world, right? The film noir, it's LA mixed with Hollywood, all that stuff. Had really good actors in there. I think Russell Crowe was in it. I don't want to go through all the list because I'm going to forget people. But I think he was the main guy. But yeah, LA Confidential still holds up too. I watched it about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. Yeah, it's still really good.
That's Basinger and
Ken Basinger.
Baldwin? It's not Baldwin.
It's got so many people in it. I want to go through the whole thing, but yeah, it's got a lot of people.
Who's the main though? Kim Basinger is the main actress. Who's the main actor?
Russell Crowe, right?
Who? Crowe?
Wasn't it Crowe? Russell Crowe?
Yeah, I'm thinking Baldwin, but
now I'm like second guessing myself.
Big better movie.
Yeah, Russell Crowe, Kevin Spacey. Guy Pearce was the kind of a-hole we worked with. Kim Basinger, Danny DeVito. Forget about that. Yeah, lots of people in there.
Guy Pearce. I forget. I don't know what year it is. I'll probably forget. But him in The Count of Monte Cristo. Oh my god, so good.
I think we already passed that one, didn't we? That year?
No, I think it's coming up. I think it's
okay.
Next year. I don't know if it's 99 or early 2000s.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite stories. Like that revenge, like for a revenge story.
Mm-hmm.
like Count of Monte Cristo is a great revenge story, and Pierce does such an amazing job. I mean, he's the anti here. He's the antagonist in that one. But
Matt,
Matty
welcome.
P, good to
Just
see you again,
missed
buddy.
two of our favorites. All right, so then I'm going to move on to my number 3.
You should. Oh yeah, we haven't passed Count of Monte Cristo yet.
Oh, okay.
I just looked it up.
All right, so my number 3. This is another one that a lot of people just never saw. It didn't do real big in the theaters, but it still holds up. It's really awesome, and it's called The Game. It's got Michael Douglas.
You took the one that I want. Definitely like my favorite in this year.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, The Game is so good. It's amazingly good, and it's a movie most people just don't talk about or know about, which is really weird to me. But Michael Douglas and Sean Penn plays his brother, I think. And then I don't think anybody else is really a big name in it. But basically, this guy gets sucked into like a real life. What is it? Like it's like a real life
mystery
game that his brother buys him into, and it gets really crazy. It's a great thriller. Yeah,
it's a joke. It played off as a joke where the brother's trying to mess with him, and then it's like a ha moment. But then it got serious, and it's this thing that takes off, and then it just has these plot things that are just amazing.
Yeah, I love that movie, and I'd probably watch it every year if I remember to, because it's really good.
It's great. That and the last set that we did where I talked about Primal Fear with Ed Norton and what's his name, Richard Gere.
Yep,
those are 2 of my favorite. Like definitely 100% top 10 movies. I love them. It's hard when you watch it again, something like that, because you see everything coming. You know what's going on. It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
Good job on that one.
Cool. So what was your number 3? I actually took one of yours. That's cool.
You took my number 1. The first one I wrote down.
It was the first one I wrote down too, and then I adjusted it for the other stuff.
Well done. All right, so then I'll go to my next one, which I'm pretty sure is going to be on your list. If you want to take one of mine, I'll take one of yours. How about The Fifth Element?
You dick. Yeah, that's my next one.
Yeah. So I mean, when any Lilu Multipass comes out, like
Multipass. Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it.
Every time I get a badge at a con, I think do it.
Yeah, Multipass. Yeah. Yes, Lilu. She knows it's a Multipass. Fun fact: if you haven't seen Fifth Element, it's fantastic. And fun fact: the director and it's not Mila Jovovich. They created their own language for her.
Yeah.
For that movie, but didn't tell Bruce Willis when she's in that container and they kind of meet for the first time and she's talking. His reaction is real because he can't understand what she's saying because he didn't know that it was going to be that kind of language. So like it's actually more real in that situation because he has no idea what the fuck she's saying.
It's a really weird soundtrack too. If you play it while you're working, it's like you're like, what is going on? Like it gets in your head.
Yeah.
But it's a good soundtrack too.
Yeah. And I think what's his name?
Gary Oldman?
Nope.
Bruce Willis?
No.
Oh, Chris Tucker?
Chris Tucker. There are times where Chris Tucker is annoying like that, but does the character really well. But there are times where I'm like, oh my god.
I love that character.
Gary Oldman. That's one of my favorite Gary Oldman. Like that and The Professional that we already talked about. Like Gary Oldman is unreal.
That dude can play anybody.
Did you see his PSA announcement about basketball players and acting?
Yes, I saw you post that.
Yeah, I just recently came
hilarious.
That. Even that, like that thing, which is super sarcastic, like he's just really fucking good. But yeah, Fifth Element is one of my favorite. Like I have to mention it from this year because it's one of my favorite movies of the year.
Yep. Good one.
What's too soon?
Oh, I don't know. You have to go back. They're talking about cake or something. They're not even listening to this.
Nice, perfect.
What's
You should.
what's your what's your number two?
Oh fuck! I got a snake.
Yep.
Oh, you took away my shit, so now I gotta adjust. I want to say, it's one of those, but I might have to save that now because you're doing that shit. I'm gonna say gross. I'm gonna say gross point blank.
Oh, all right. Yep, that's my number seven.
Yeah, gross point blank
That's a
was
great one.
first one. First time watching it, I was like, I don't even know what the hell I'm watching. It was weird. But then as like I watched it again, and I was like I picked up on a lot more. And it's Cusack doing Cusack. I mean, he's great. His sister's great. The
I
whole
don't
all
know
that.
if is that the only movie they've both been in?
No, they're in a lot of movies. Like
Are
it's
they?
almost,
Okay.
I don't know. It's almost in his contract, but almost
Oh,
every
okay.
he's in a lot of. It's not my favorite of his, but yeah, I love Gross Point Blank. It's a good one. It takes a minute. Like you'll get into it, but it's not an immediate hook.
It has one of those qualities as a movie that just keeps you like okay watching it over and over. Like, oh, it's on again. Okay, whatever. Just it's on again and keep watching it. Dan Aykroyd's in it, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Like you hadn't seen him in a minute for a while.
There's another actor in there that I keep forgetting is in it, and I'm not going to recall now either. But it's another with somebody else you know. And yeah, I didn't know it was a city. Obviously, when I started watching it. That's cool. You're close to it.
That's pretty cool.
I wonder if the school and everything is actually in there. If it was like a Hollywood set and stuff.
Yeah, it's really weird. I've tried to describe this movie to people before,
Yeah,
and I don't know how to do it because you say it's a comedy, but it's not a wacky comedy. It's not, and you start saying, well, he's an assassin, and you're like, oh, what? And then, but he's not like it's a comedy, but he's not a bad assassin, but he's also like a good guy, nice guy, I guess, sort of. And he goes to his high school reunion. Like, what a weird thing to do. But it really works. It
works. Yeah, it definitely works.
Yeah,
that's a
good
one.
pick. Good pick. I was actually thinking, okay, he's going to take a couple of mine. I'll get to talk about Gross Point Blank. So,
nope, I'll do that one.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that one. I haven't watched it enough. I watched it a lot when it first came out and when I started watching it, but I haven't watched it in a while, and I should rewatch it. It's a great one.
I think it's on Netflix right now. If not, it's on one of those streaming ones because I bounce around all the time.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it might be on Prime, but okay. Well, then let's see. Well, we know my number 2 was Fifth Element.
Right.
So instead of talking about Fifth Element, I'll talk about my number 6. Okay. But my number 2 was Fifth Element. But my number 6 was Devil's Advocate.
Oh yeah, yep, that's on my list.
Now it's really weird because I think Keanu's a great human being. I think he's great for many parts. I don't think he's a tremendous actor, honestly. And it's not that he can't act, it's that his own personal emotional range seems to be pretty tight, is all. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't for Al Pacino's devil portrayal, I don't think this movie would have been as high for me. But he plays one of the best devils ever. The writing for it, how he does it, and just all of it is just so on point. I mean, and also Charlize Theron does a great job as the wife on there.
Yep.
It's really good, really interesting portrayal in thought of like his perspective, the devil's perspective, when he starts giving to you, go like, I could see where he would get that. Like, obviously, he's evil and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But you'd be like, I can see his point of view, and I love any villain that you could at least see their point of view, right? It's not twirly mustache evil. It's has a point of view that explains it. So,
yeah, I think you're right. I think Keanu is Keanu. It's the same thing as Point Break. Like he's got the same. It's still him. he's not as goofy as Bill and Ted. Like there's that side of the range, and then there's the Matrix and John Wick. John Wick's much better than he used to be. It falls in that range, but Pacino makes that movie like that. Even the premise is cool, the writing is cool, but it's like Pacino in Any Given Sunday. Any Given Sunday is a football movie. You couldn't care less if you don't care about sports or football, but like there's so many points that he is the center of everything that's going on, and he nails it every time. Good pick.
Yeah, so that's my number 2, and then I'll do my number 1 because you don't
pick Gattaca for one of his.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Gattaca was my number 5. Yeah. I didn't want to put up the whole list because just in case it was one of yours. But so okay, then we're snaking around to my number 1, and my number 1 is Good Will Hunting. I don't know how you don't put it there. It's I think it won the Oscar. Robin Williams is amazing. Honestly, both Matt and Ben, amazing writing, amazing acting. I even like the not Casey Affleck, his little character and stuff. They just feel so real. All those characters, they feel like real people, real interactions with each other. It's just a really solid movie, and obviously it won everything. So, yeah,
good pick,
and still really good. I think if you watch it today, it still holds up.
Yeah, I think it still matters. It still has good.
In fact, I'd argue that all 5 of mine stand the test of time.
You don't have to argue.
I'm going to argue.
You don't have to argue.
It's not fun if I don't get to argue.
True.
All right, so that's my number 1. You only squished 1, so that's fine. I knew you'd get Fifth Element. There's no way you'd let me take Fifth.
Well, yeah, that was an easy one. The game was the one I want. I didn't know you'd have it on your top 5. I figured it might be 6 or 7-ish for you.
Yeah, no, that's an awesome one. I'll talk about that movie all the time.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
The only reason why I didn't talk more about it is because you don't want to spoil anything.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Go see The Game if you haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Michael Douglas.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah. So the list. So this is where it breaks for me, because then there's some that are good, like good if I wanted to Hudson Hawk some of these things.
Hudson Hawk.
But they're not good movies.
Okay. Well, I mean, I have some of those too, but
so past me. Looking at this episode, if I was doing this episode as past me, I remember the first time I watched the first Austin Powers. Yeah. I remember laughing my fucking ass off.
Hey, that's my number 10. It was hilarious back then.
Right. So then I recently watched it. It was on, and I watched it. It feels like a few years ago. It was probably a decade or so. I remember watching it again. And I remember being in that movie, not laughing once. Like, I was just like I was so excited. Like, oh, I haven't watched it in a while. I'm going to watch it. And I just remember going, the fuck? Like, it was 2, fine. 3, oh, like, there's even more in 3. But they, like, 1, I would have put a bet back then that Austin Powers would have, like, held up the whole time. And it didn't. Like, it was so... it was not my first beer. Like, let's be real, my legally in a bar, maybe. I'm going to talk about Men in Black then.
Oh wow. Okay. Number 13 for me.
Yeah, there's a few there that we can talk about after that are in this same kind of, I could have talked about that one, I could have talked about this one. They're not good movies. They're fine movies. They're still fun to watch. I love D'Onofrio in that movie. It was fun and different, and the idea of like the universe in a marble, and you had all those fucking critters that worshipped him in the locker, or the sub, or the Grand Central. Like, there were a lot of things in that were just fun. And I remember, like, I still sit down and watch it. I still enjoy that movie. It still has a lot of memories for watching that thing. So I if not the game, then I'll put Men in Black in this spot to talk about. It wouldn't be up there above. Like I'd put it below Mouse Hunt even. I think Mouse Hunt was just stupid and fun. But I think Gross Point Blank, Fifth Element obviously are better. But I think
I like that you're sorting your list now in front of us.
Yeah, I don't want to give a Chris and talk about my number 72 as my number 1.
I didn't. I told you what my number 2 is, and that snuck in my 6.
Uh-huh.
Just like you snuck in 2 for your 1.
Well, because we're at the end now, and I know I'm not going to steal one from you, right?
Right.
Also, that was my one that I wanted to talk about was Austin Powers and how like recently watched it and how I didn't laugh at all.
It's weird. There are some moments that are still funny. What?
Was Fat Bastard?
No, not that at all. But it's more the interaction between Dr. Evil and a couple people. Like when he calls number 1 his cycloptic friend, or whenever his son's like, I might go to dentist school, or he's like evil dentist school, or whatever it was. He was gonna like evil veterinary school. Those interactions are fun,
Yeah.
But it's a little cringy in some cases now, and and that's right. It was making fun of James Bond films, which just aren't like that anymore.
Right.
So there's nothing really to make fun of.
Yeah. So Men in Black, it's still something I'll watch. I still enjoy them. It's still fun, and I mean D'Onofrio is phenomenal in almost anything he does, and him as that locust or that cockroach or whatever the hell it was. Like he's great. Will Smith's fine. Tommy Lee Jones is like that dynamic that they have when they're playing, when she's giving birth in the thing, like all that. There's still fun moments in that whole thing that I
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why it was such a huge hit and so much came from it. And, I think it deserves that. If it'd be weird, I think if it came out today, it would be just like, okay, it'd be, but for whatever reason, it just was the right time, right?
Yeah.
Right for everything now.
Right. I mean, it's still there was a comic book. There's a fucking board game, right? There's a Men in Black character. Yeah. It was that adventure series or something that IDW did, I think.
I didn't see the latest ones with Chris Hemsworth and.
Oh, I did see that one. I remember seeing that. It was.
What's her name? She plays Valkyrie. I can't remember her name now. Anyway, I didn't see that one.
So, to say that, I would put that in the same. And I know somebody mentioned it in the comments, but I have 3 of them together that would be in. Like I could have put any one of them in that spot. Men in Black, Face Off, and Con Air.
Yeah. So Face Off is actually my number 8. And it's only because it was so ridiculous. And I watched it like 100 times that year when it came out. I don't know why. It's bad. It's really bad. The science is bad. The story's bad. Yeah. The acting can be really bad. Yep. But it's hilarious all the way through for me. It's just fun. It's a silly, fun movie.
Yep.
And then Con Air's kind of the same idea. It's just not as much for me. But I do like Malkovich's move and the bunny gets it or whatever it was, that character. Oh, and Buscemi's serial killer character. Yep. Oh.
Yeah, Con Air is a good one.
Thank you, Eric. Yep, Tessa Thompson.
I had that up the whole time you were talking. You didn't even
I wasn't looking at. Well, you put it up, so I didn't notice.
They mentioned earlier that there was at least finally an animated movie that can be up there, and I would say that there's 2 that we could talk about. Hercules is one of them. I think Hercules is really good, but better than Hercules, more specific fandom, but better than Hercules was Princess Mononoke.
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
no, I mean I haven't seen it.
It's great.
I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
I still think we talked about when with Howl's Moving Castle. I think that one edges it out, but Princess Mononoke is fantastic. Definitely watch it. It's a good one. And then I don't know if you've ever seen this one, and this is the last one I have on my list. Do you remember? This is probably a decade ago, maybe 7 years ago. from 1997. A Fish Called Wanda.
I've seen parts of it.
Okay.
I've never seen the full thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a better version. It's not a better version. It's a better movie than this one. But they brought the cast back for a movie called Fierce Creatures.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to talk about something else. Okay.
No. So Fierce
Huh.
Creatures has Kevin Kline. It's got Michael Palin. It's got what's her name? I just lost it. Jamie Lee Curtis, and it's got
Mhm.
John Cleese. And it's that cast just in it. It's a totally different setting. And I really did enjoy it. It's not a great movie, but I like that they brought them all back in this. I think it was a zoo. It's something about a zoo or something with animals. That was really fun. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch. It's
I
not
thought you were going to bring up In and Out.
in and
Did
out.
you ever see that movie? So it has Kevin Kline in it.
Yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I don't know how well it would survive today, honestly, but because it fits the culture of things there where somebody thinks that he's gay and he's not. And then, he's trying to fight that stigma or whatever during the thing. It would never work today, but there are a lot of moments in it that are pretty funny. So
I do remember seeing that. It's like a white box, and he's dancing on it with like a holding roses or holding flowers. Or
yeah,
something.
that scene where he dances is the funniest part of the entire movie because it's like it was a test to see if you're gay, right? And they would play disco music, and it'd have this strict voice going, "Now don't move a muscle. If you move, then you're probably gay." The '90s jokes and stuff like that probably couldn't survive today,
Yeah.
But that one scene where he can't hold back and just starts dancing and stuff, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it was a good one. I like Kevin Kline.
Yeah. You forgot As Good as It Gets?
I liked it. Jack Nicholson's good.
I thought that was a great movie.
It was good. It's not
The only thing.
10. It's not on my list.
Oh, go ahead.
It's not. I have 10 on my list. It's not on my list.
It's my number 9.
Okay.
I liked it a lot. I liked what was his name? All the names are on my head today, but he plays his neighbor. Plays Jack Nicholson's neighbor. I can't remember his name now, but he had a great role in that. But the only thing that bothers me is the age difference between Jack Nicholson and Helen Hunt. Like it's a little too. Yes, Greg Kinnear. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, so As Good as It Gets was a really good movie, I think.
Yeah.
Conspiracy Theory?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I still think of that movie every time I hear the "I love you, baby."
Yeah.
I mean, Mel Gibson did pretty good on there. Who was the female lead in it? I remember the bad guy was Jean-Luc Picard, Patrick Stewart, which was weird.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the female lead was in that. Oh, Sandra Bullock, maybe.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Titanic came out. Yeah, Starship Troopers. I get some of the fun for it. It just never caught on to me as a cult classic kind of thing.
I love the gifts that are not I guess the little reels that they do now from Starship Troopers. I did my part. I didn't do shit. Like those things. Like I get it. It was good. It just wasn't. It didn't hit for me.
Oh, and Get Off My Plane.
Oh,
Air Force One.
Yeah,
that's another Gary Oldman.
Mm-hmm.
He had a good year. Played a Russian bad guy and Zorg.
Yep.
The Saint was a movie you don't need to watch.
Yeah,
but it was Val Kilmer. It was okay.
Yeah. There was
at
also
the same time The Jackal came out, and that was Bruce Willis, and it was a little better, I think.
Yeah, there was one that came out with Van Damme that had Dennis Rodman in it. I remember that. When I was going through the list, I think it was Van Damme and Dennis Rodman.
Dennis Rodman?
Yeah, Contact was good. Contact was a good one.
Oh yes, Contact was a great movie.
Oh, Julia Roberts, good job.
But I don't think it's that rewatchable. Is the problem?
No.
Like once you know the ending, it's just kind of okay.
Yep.
Julia Roberts. I always get them mixed.
I literally just said that.
Yeah, I know you did. I was just popping it up for their credit.
Oh,
That
okay.
time I heard you. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did our number ones. Mine was Stolen with the Game. Chris took it for his number 3. That would have been the one that I talked about last because it's my favorite of this year. The
The
Game
Game and Good Will Hunting was mine. Yeah.
and his was Good Will Hunting, which is on my list. It's Robin Williams. I mean, again, anything. I'm not a big Matt Damon fan. I like that they use him as Loki in Loki. Because of
Yeah.
Gotham. Like that was funny, but I'm not a Matt Damon fan. Yeah, Ben
Oh,
Affleck.
really? I think he does a great job in some movies. Just to
he
kind of
does.
depends on what he's doing.
Well, so does Affleck. Affleck does good stuff too,
Yeah.
but
Affleck was a better Batman than I thought he would be.
I agree.
Okay, here's a movie that wasn't so great. Postman.
Evan, yes, Michael Douglas movie is The Game. Postman was okay. That wasn't that Kevin Costner.
Yeah, it was kind of like his next one where he was kind of like still trying to be famous, trying to do something to catch that Dances with Wolves magic. It was okay. The only saving grace of that movie for me was the bad guy, because he has this. It's a post-apocalyptic thing, and he says, you know what I did before the apocalypse or whatever, or the war or whatever. It's like I sold copy machines. And I just love the idea that it was just like this little nobody guy, and then the apocalypse happens, and he just happens to pick stuff to become, the main bad guy and stuff. I like that guy. Yeah, Postman was weird. Boogie Nights. Yeah, that was a solid movie.
No, I can't with that movie.
What, Boogie Nights?
Yeah, it was okay. I mean, the soundtrack's better than the movie.
Hey, Kabuki.
Hey, Kabuki.
Life is Beautiful. I never saw it. I got annoyed by the director climbing over the chairs. I was like, I'm not watching it.
Life is Beautiful is a different kind of movie.
I think that won the Oscar too, didn't it?
And not if Good Will Hunting did.
Good Will Hunting won for script. I don't know if it won for best movie.
Yeah,
It might be why I didn't like Life is Beautiful, because I still. I know it won a Oscar because I remember him climbing over.
It might have been the winner that year. That movie is just different. It's not for. It just hits so differently. The concept of it, right, to protect your kid around like the bad shit that's going on around you. Like at the time watching that movie, obviously I'm like, I don't get it. Like I get it, but it wasn't like on the list for me. I'm sure if I watched it now, with all things considered, it would kick a little harder.
Yeah, that's what sucks.
Yeah, I was busting Daryl's balls about it 2 weekends ago, because he had a Titanic game and the raft.
Yeah.
Took a picture of the raft with one meeple on it, and then I took with the meeple off to the side, and then I took back 2 meeples on it, and I posted it to Daryl. Like, there was plenty of room. Like,
that's funny.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, Titanic was very entertaining. I'm glad I saw it and all that stuff. It didn't deserve Best Picture. I think it was just too much of a spectacle for them not to do it.
Yeah, I agree, Alan. It's amazing.
The Man Who Knew Too Little was fun.
I don't think I watched that one.
You didn't see that one? That's a Ghostbuster.
Murray?
Yeah, Bill Murray.
Murray? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's making fun of The Man Who Knew Too Much, which was a Hitchcock movie. But he gets wrapped into he tries to sign up for a, I'll be a spy kind of thing. And people come and give me a thing and I get to be a spy game. And he gets it wrapped up into a real one, but he thinks it's fake the entire time.
Yeah. I think Kabuki stole your list there. Gattaca, LA Confidential.
Yeah.
Gross Point Blank. Yeah, we thought those are all on our mentions.
That's all on my list.
All our numbers.
Wasn't Swingers 96? Didn't we talk about that last?
Yeah, Swingers was last year.
Yep. Yeah. Gattaca was my number 5, yeah.
I gotta watch it again. Maybe I
This was the year of G.I. Jane. It was a, little political thing that popped out there. I didn't think it was that big a deal movie though.
No. Event Horizon. Yep.
Event Horizon was a spooky one. It wasn't as good as In the Mouth of Madness though.
No. Agreed.
Which you're totally going to, connect because it's the same actor, right?
Right.
Sam Neill? Is that his name?
Yep. Sam Neill.
Now my brain's starting to work. 7 Years in Tibet was really boring.
Fantastic.
Did you ever see that? The Brad Pitt 4-hour movie, or it felt like 4-hour movie. Him just walking across Tibet or whatever.
No desire to see that one.
I saw that movie. Let's see. Speed 2 came out this year.
So did Vegas Vacation. So did what's the other sequel? The big sequel that came out this year.
American Werewolf in Paris.
Scream 2.
Oh, Scream 2. Yep.
Yeah.
They talked about George of the Jungle inside in the chat here, and I have the full Monty.
Full Monty. Was that 97? I just talked about
Anastasia. That was an interesting one.
The movie,
Anastasia, the animated movie, yeah.
Yeah.
What made that interesting was it's the first time that they used 2D animation with 3D animation. It doesn't quite work well in some scenes, but sometimes they nail it, and it's pretty good. Yeah, Jackie Brown was good. Unfortunately, it came right after Pulp Fiction, and it was not nearly as good as Pulp Fiction, and so it just felt like a big letdown. But after more recently watching it, I've liked it a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Flubber. I don't think I've ever seen all of Flubber.
Flubber's good. Another Robin Williams. It's good.
Yeah. Oh, Spawn came out this year.
Yeah.
That's not a good one.
That's another one. Like I wanted to enjoy it when I first watched it, and there were parts. Then I watched it again years later, and I was like, all right, it's still the movie I remember.
Yeah.
They're doing it again. I don't know.
Chasing Amy was good at the time. I don't think it holds up very well today, but
I enjoyed it. Also, you're watching Mallrats and you're watching Clerks, and it's all like yeah.
I've never seen this.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about it.
The Cube was good, Derek. The Cube was a good one. I like
Is
that
the one where people are climbing into different rooms?
Mm-hmm.
Am I thinking of the right one?
Yeah, if that's the one, I'm thinking of that one.
Did you ever see The Edge? Anthony Hopkins and I think Alec Baldwin? Can't remember if it's Alec Baldwin.
I think so.
They're out in the woods in the cold, and there's a bear chasing them because the bear has taste for human blood or something like that. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Austin, I agree, Kabuki. I talked about you might have came in just after, but Austin, I wanted past me watching Austin Powers for the first time. I laughed my ass off, and I would think that movie would just I'd be laughing every time I watched it. And then I watched it more recently, a decade or so ago. Haven't watched it since, and I didn't laugh like I didn't. And the other ones, they were just better. They were funnier.
I agree with this. We talked about Contact. It's a really good movie. Probably her best, Jodie Foster. This I disagree. I think it was rated appropriately. It was so flat. I just didn't like it. Yeah.
Air Bud.
I did not forget about Air Bud. Anaconda came out this year. I think was that Ice Cube? That was Ice Cube's.
And Jennifer Lopez, wasn't it?
Was it? And I don't know. I haven't seen it since '97. I can tell you that.
Yeah. They were not good movies. Like they're good. They're not great movies. Like
Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil was good.
I wanted that to be better. I think I remember watching it. It was good, but it wasn't like I don't know. I tried watching that one again. I liked it, but I wanted it to be different or better. Not different, better.
Yeah.
It was okay. These are all okay. They're okay movies.
A lot of these are okay, but I mean, Good Will Hunting, Fifth Element, The Game, LA Confidential, Gattaca, Devil's Advocate, Gross Point Blank, Face Off as good as it gets, and Austin Powers. That 10 list is better than last year's list.
I don't agree.
I mean, I got last year's list right here. Had like Broken Arrow, The Rock, Independence Day was like our number one, or From Dusk Till Dawn. I mean, good movies, but not as good as Good Will Hunting and The Fifth Element and The Game.
No, I know, but From Dusk Till Dawn is way better than Con Air and Face Off. And
Oh, yeah, but Con Air and Face Off are not in our top fives.
accurate. Okay, but I mean, From Dusk Till Dawn is not Mouse Hunt.
Well, no, but you're the one who put Mouse Hunt on your list. That's on you.
Because it's a great movie.
That's on you. Yeah. All right. No, I like 97 more than 96.
Oh, that's cool.
That's pretty strong.
That's cool, Eric.
Oh, Airbud?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
That's
Full
cool.
Brush In. Is that... Oh, that's the Chandler Bing guy.
Matthew Perry.
Matthew Perry, thank you. And Selma Hayek. That was cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not enamored by this year. It's one of the more ones. Like the game just slaps. Like that's just a great movie. And The Fifth Element is classic, but I don't know. Like Liar Liar, I guess is classic too. But
I think any movie that my top, I'll say 7 movies are rewatchable or newly watchable today and still hold up is a good movie. Good year for movies.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's
My number 8 is Face Off, and I don't think it's newly rewatchable, but it's rewatchable by me. But I wouldn't show it to new people today.
I do love that GIF and the meme of Nicolas Cage through the years, and it starts with like Raising Arizona and him really young, and it goes through all his movies, and then 1997, it's what's his name? Who's the other guy in Face Off?
John Travolta.
John Travolta. It's got John Travolta's picture there for 1997, and it goes back to Nicolas Cage going through. You ever see that?
No, that's funny though.
It's Raising Arizona, Nicolas Cage, like young Nicolas Cage, and it's like 4 pictures with different, like whatever. It's him aging, and then the middle one is 1997, and it's Travolta's face, and then it goes back to Nicolas Cage the next year. It's good.
I don't have Nothing to Lose. What is that one?
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I agree. Kabuki.
No, it's fun. It's a fun movie.
But it's not a good movie. Like when you think about what a good movie is.
A good movie is fun. If
fun
I'm
movie.
Entertained, it's a good movie.
But
now there's different types of movies.
No, a fun movie isn't necessarily good. Hudson Hawk is a fun movie, but it's not
and
good.
A good movie.
For us, not in general. Like what's a good movie? Independence Day it's a ride. It's a fun ride, but the movie, like it's flawed. It's got its problems. Like
no, I'm sure, but there's a difference between, I mean, there are games that aren't like, a genius didn't take to do it, but it's a good game because you're entertained. As long as you're entertained by the movie, then it's good. It doesn't have to be like the best, well-written characters or 3-dimensional. If everybody's enjoying it, good movie.
Okay.
Now, there are different, levels. There's a difference between, Jacob's Ladder and,
Independence Day.
Independence Day, yeah. Whatever, it's, but that's different genres. That's not fair. That's not fair to compare.
Yeah. That's the Nothing to Lose. I remember that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, I should have said Nothing to Lose then with Tim Robbins being in Jacob's Ladder. Although Jacob's Ladder isn't 97. So. But yeah, we talked about Georgia the Jungle, Titanic. Yeah. Everything on my list. American Werewolf in Paris was awful.
It was. It was.
Yeah. Yeah, I can rewatch it. I have to be in the right mood for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a creepy one.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, I disagree. I think there's a lot of great movies in '97, more than there was in '96.
Interesting. Yeah, looking through the list, there weren't any that were like, ooh, I got to talk about that one. And ooh, I really want to talk about that one. It was just like, I think these are the ones I want to talk about, and the other ones are kind of like, eh.
You
Okay.
should go watch Gattaca, rewatch LA Confidential.
Yeah, apparently. I won't. I got to watch the Marvels, and I got to start Agatha.
Yeah. You still haven't seen the Marvels?
Not yet.
Oh, you're gonna like it, dude. It's good.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
I was very happy with the Marvels. I thought I said at the end, oh, finally they're getting back to like being Marvel movies
Yeah.
in a way. Like it felt Marvel, It's good. Yeah, and the new Agatha series is good. So far they only have 2 episodes, but I've been enjoying it.
When is
Um,
Skeleton Crew is soon too, right? October maybe.
Skeleton Crew is soon. I don't know. Skeleton Crew. I think they're real. It says December 3rd.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
That's fine.
that's Jude Law too.
It is.
Some of the more recent. Oh, of the Marvel ones. I don't know. They're kind of.
No,
Yeah.
they said Kabuki said that Jacob's Ladder got a remake.
Oh, a remake. Oh, I would never even try that. Why would someone? I don't understand why they try to keep remaking like classic or really good deep movies and stuff like that. Try to remake the ones that should have been good but weren't.
Mm-hmm.
Like find the misses, right?
Like episode 7, 8, and 9.
Yes. Oh man, we are. So I told you we're rewatching Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
And we finished Return of the Jedi, and we keep going like, all right, you want to start episode 7? You're like, not tonight. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I can't, because 7 wasn't too bad, other than a few little moments that we've talked about. But I know what's after it, and I don't want to.
There's nothing after Return of the Jedi to watch.
Oh, you froze.
Great.
That? Oh no, you're back. Okay, nothing after Return of Jedi. What?
In canon?
No, it's in canon. 7, 8, and 9 are in canon.
Listen to the question.
Oh, sorry. Maybe you glitched. Go ahead.
Before 7, there's nothing in the canon after 6? In canon, it goes right from 6 to 7?
Oh, no. It's like 25 years difference, and Mandalorian happens in between.
Right. So you're just watching the movies. You're not watching all of the...
Oh, right. Yeah, we didn't do the show this time. We had just finished rewatching Clone Wars and Rebels, so we were like, let's do the movies.
Gotcha. Okay.
See, I like 1 through 3 just as well. I always have. I don't know what the.
Yeah, I just hate Jar Jar. I hate Jar Jar and hate fucking.
I'm fine with Jar Jar.
I hate the blockades and the Trade Federation and all the shit that you wrote in there for the new generation of kids that you wanted them to buy toys, and you were like, "The fuck is this Trade Generation or Trade Federation bullshit?"
No, I liked it. I like all that detail, world building stuff. So, but yeah, I guess at some point I gotta. I've only seen episode 9 once.
I believe it.
I saw it in the theaters. I was like, it just came out. Oh, just heartbroken.
Yep. But, yeah, just all true. Nikki, Eric, Brandon, all true.
Oh, Rogue One. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I always say that Star Wars Episode 4 is my favorite Star Wars, but Rogue One is the best Star Wars.
Rogue One is fantastic.
And that's a distinction, right?
Yeah.
It's one that is my favorite, but this one is the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Solo. I really did.
Yes, I don't understand what the big issue with Solo was. I thought it was great. It's a heist movie in Star Wars. It's great.
I actually didn't like fuck's his name? I'm shot.
Danny Glover or not Danny, Donald Glover.
No, I loved him. I thought he was a great casting.
I know. I'm heartbroken that they're not doing the Lando series.
That was fantastic. What's his name? The guy that I don't want to say anything, give shit away, but the one that was like kind of the leader of the gang that Solo joined.
Oh, right. He played Vision.
No. That was Kira.
Oh, okay. You're talking Woody Harrelson, right?
Woody Harrelson. Anybody else other than Jack Black, anybody else in that position would have been fine. But Woody Harrelson in that position was. I didn't like his character. I didn't care at the end. I was just.
Oh, you didn't like his character? Oh, I thought he was great.
He was fine. There were parts where I was just like, it was just him. It's almost like he didn't want to be on set, and he was just saying his lines as Woody Harrelson, not as his character. And I'm like, like the betrayal in the ship. Like I get it. Like that was kind of okay. And then there were just times where he just came across super flat. But that whole movie it's a fun ride. I love that one. Yeah. Also, I think I learned something new about that movie that I didn't know. The explosions, the train. I think this is the movie, and it could be me on 15 hours of sleep in 5 days. The rail, the thing that they were lifting from, right? That rail, and they were trying.
Right.
When that thing explodes, it's an actual explosion, and it's the only thing real in that scene.
Huh.
So there's a film, there's a video made, like a behind the scenes or whatever. They dropped something into water, and it exploded in the water, and it created the bubbles, those air bubbles, and that implosion looking thing.
Yeah.
So they filmed that real thing of the explosion, and then the mountain and the rail and everything is all CGI.
Oh, and that's why it kind of like sucks it in, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's cool.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a great movie. Solo was way better than 7, 8, and 9. And I don't really have a problem with 7, other than one or two little things. And we've talked about that.
And 8 would have been fine, removing Canto Bight and not having a fucking dick fight over directorial bullshit. Like, if there was a story going on and Rain had done all 3 or JJ had done all 3, a lot of that stuff would make sense and it'd be fine because it wouldn't be what we saw. What we saw was just a cockfight between, no, I want to do this. And then you throw in the casino bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to get into hate on.
I've watched it way more than you, and I still enjoy the story of all Star Wars. I love it, and every one of them has their bit that you could rip out, light on fire, shoot it into space, and never fucking talk about it again. Every one of them has that. Going back to episode 4, like in 77, there's all stuff that you're like,
what part of episode 4 would you think needs to be removed?
Luke.
What? No, Luke was great.
He was too whiny.
Yeah, he was the farm kid.
Yeah.
Don't Luke.
He's the hardest thing to watch in that movie. Every time.
What's your son's name again?
Hate it, but I love the movie. Luke is he
whines.
Whines constantly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as always, we de-evolve into Star Wars talk.
We do, and I'm on like lack of movie, so
yeah.
I'll keep talking.
I know. I'm going to let you go so that you can get some sleep.
Yeah, I have so much to do, man. When I left for Cusecon setup, when I had to go to the storage unit and pack the truck and get the library going, I didn't clean up like the mess that the kids make with all their toys. Like I was out, like I had to leave, and then I came back because I stay at the hotel. I don't go. It's like 12 minutes away, but I don't come back at night because I'm gonna leave at 4 a.m. and then get back there at 8. Like that's stupid. So I get a hotel room and I stay there. And I came back and there's just Paw Patrol figures everywhere, vehicles everywhere. Like there's Luca and Mika seats are in. It looked like if if I didn't know better, someone came into the living room and was looking for a cash box or something. Like they were looking for the jewels. It's a mess. I got a lot of shit I got to clean up.
Save it for the morning.
Yo, the afternoon, I'm sleeping in tomorrow. Fuck that.
Save it for the afternoon. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, we haven't talked about what we're doing next week, so we'll figure that out. It might be 98. It might be some board game stuff. Maybe board game stuff. We'll see.
I actually want to. I have to reconnect, but I want to try and get Aaron from Rollicrit on because they're doing the expansion for Heroes of Arcadia.
Nice.
He's awesome. I love him, but I don't know if he's too busy. I've been asking him for a while. I think he's doing Essen, which is why he couldn't do it, but I need to reconnect with him. So it's possible that Aaron will be on. At some point he will. It might be after Essen, though.
All right. Sounds fun.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thanks for helping me keep Mike up for a while. And I'm glad everything went well at Cusecon.
Nice.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm so proud of you.
We're done.
So proud of you.
Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See you soon.
Bye, everybody.